Wild Gigas are considered by many to be the strongest dinos and most deadly creatures in all of ARK, and that's all thanks to their health, damage and super strong bleedability. Despite all this, however, the Giga is still balanced as it can only spawn on mountains or other deadly regions where the player is expected to go fully geared. Knowing this, today I decided to use a mod that brings the Gigas to me. Every 4 to 10 minutes a max level wild giga will spawn on me. It won't care what I'm doing, it won't care where I am, it's just gonna spawn and immediately start throwing hands. My plan today is to hop in on the island and try my absolute best to beat the alpha broodmother. This mod has been created by Sir Caveman, so a huge shout out to him. And I don't usually do this, however a huge portion of you watching aren't subscribed. So if you wanna see more unique ARK content, then definitely drop a subscribe, like the video and comment how many deaths you think I'll have by the end. But with all that yapping out the way, let's begin. Boom! We are spawning in. And we got 4 minutes at the very least. And what? I was not expecting that. That's probably the fastest I've ever died in this game. World record. Okay. Yeah, well, you see that little icon in the bottom? That represents that I'm being hunted by Gigas. And apparently, every once in a while a Giga's gonna spawn. I don't know when. So... yeah. Oh my god, I'm gonna get so destroyed this challenge. But we must do a note run before anything, so let's get to doing that. Hello? For some reason, the mod was partially bugged during the early parts of this video and spawned Gigas whenever, not really caring about the 4-minute timer. This does get fixed later, after a small rage moment, however this is also a good moment to mention that I have tried this challenge once before, with a visible 5-minute timer, however it ended up being way too easy, as that way I could just drop the Giga somewhere I didn't care about and then continue my business. I could also drop them in the water, where they would drown and become even less of a threat. And I don't know about you, but that seemed like boring content, so I went back to the drawing board and thought how I could refine this idea to make it harder and more entertaining, which is what you're gonna be seeing now. But as all island videos go, the first step is to do a note run. Okay. Since I'm not going to have enough firepower to take down a Giga, ever, my best and only way of dealing with them is gonna be running away. Nice. Oh my god, dude. I'm an actual idiot. Okay, that's the last one. What do we have? We have 70. My bad. That's not half bad. After reaching a decent level, I immediately began gathering some basic resources, crafting some basic tools and learning advanced engrams. Next I grabbed some metal, which leveled me up. 71... Oh my... no. Well, while on foot, I won't really have any chance at escaping the Gigas, so when they spawn, I die. Which is why the first goal is to get a Pteranodon, as by using the C-spin ability it has, I might just have enough speed to outrun them. Oh, and I'm not gonna use rafts because they are way too overpowered. I established this in my Giga only video, so you should go watch that as well. But until I can get the Pteranodon, I must go through the early game, which isn't too hard. That is, if you exclude the lingering fear of a 300-ton behemoth falling on my head at any given moment. In order to get access to higher tier resources, I wanted to make my way over to South Zone 1. On the way, I invested in a hide suit so that I could tank the freezing night temperatures. Yeah, but I don't know how long until the Giga spawns, man. It could be right now. It could be right now. It could be right now. Or it could be in a few minutes. I have no clue. And this is very unsettling. Once arrived at the top of the hill, I grabbed the local explorer note and instantly started roleplaying as a colonist. Someone, however, wasn't too fond of my plans and decided to interfere. Taking my stuff back was very easy, and after dealing with the Giga, I placed down a forge so that I could start smelting metal. And then it was time to actually lead the Giga away. Nice. Will he go down for the body? That would be pretty cool, because then he would leave me alone. I'm running out of bags, so I need to make more bags, which is what's gonna give him time to kill me. How? Okay. Okay, he left. We should be fine. He went down. Okay. So I'm gonna use that time to make some bags. With the Giga gone, I was free to terrorize some locals myself for both hide as well as kiting, which was perfect as I need both of these for the Pteranodon saddle. While I was gone, the force melted more than enough metal for the Schmitty. I also gotta be very careful while crafting things, because if I craft something and I die while it's crafting, I'm gonna lose the items needed to craft the thing in the first place, which is very stupid. With the Schmitty placed, I could now craft a metal pickaxe to then farm a whole lot of metal. I feel like a Giga is gonna spawn by the time I finish this node, but I could just be having a wrong feeling. After depositing the metal in the refining forge, I unstacked some meat so that it would spoil faster, and in the meantime went out exploring. The first thing I found while exploring were some Hesperornices that I killed for polymer to hopefully save a trip to the penguins later on. It was also at this time that I made a spyglass with the crystal near my base. The anticipation is honestly killing me, because I have no idea when the Giga is gonna spawn. And what I'm gonna be doing when it actually spawns. Well, talk about the Giga. Don't kill me, dude. Oh my god, I actually escaped? That's insane. Back at base, I made a crossbow as well as a mortar and pestle so that I could start crafting narcotics. There we go, and make these and we can go trank a Pteranodon. What the f... That was not 4 minutes. Actual world record death speedrun. Thanks to all the beds that I scattered around my base, I managed to spawn close by and then, well, make even more bags. But as I was doing that, the Giga decided to go away by himself, which was pretty cool. He didn't go too far, but far enough to allow me to prepare to head out to tame a Pteranodon. I was gonna need more hide for the saddle, so I grabbed the other things I'll need to not have to return home to craft it. And with that, it was time to begin looking for a high-level Pteranodon. 80, no, 125, yeah. If he will land, I'm gonna trank him. If a Giga doesn't spawn on me. But I'm feeling confident. Which is exactly when it spawns. Unfortunately, the level 125 Pteranodon did not want to get tamed, as it decided to land on top of the stone pillars. And I also couldn't wait around too long, as, you know. 25, no, get out. The advantage to exploring the beaches of this map is that they are all within a spawn region, which means that grabbing my items back is super fast and super easy. So I think that early game I was gonna die and not really have anything to do about it. But later on, I will have a lot of things to lose. For example, I can easily lose my dino. Like, if the Giga spawns on me while I'm riding a dino, I'm absolutely dead. Same for if he spawns while I'm taming something. Things are definitely gonna get only harder from here. And more risky, obviously. Spino, what level? 10. 60, Nana. 15, okay. 20, 55, nope. 5, 10, 5, 5, 10, what? There's no way. Hello. 40 and 60. No, leave me alone. So much for the level 40 Pteranodon or 60 or whatever it was. Pteranodons. In terms of Pteranodons, we have no Pteranodons. Level 120. 15, 15, 15. What the fuck are these levels, dude? 10 and 15. Huh? Man, I ran across the entire map and found nothing. What the hell? 10, 15. Are they cloning themselves? What the f is going on? One for... I can't speak. This guy, we're taming him. 17 points stamina isn't too great, but 17 points is better than 0 points. So, I'll take it. I'm actually trolling. I gotta be careful when I craft the saddle, because as I've said, if I die while crafting, I lose everything. Including pretty much my only way out of here. And I don't know when the Gigas is gonna spawn, so it could be right now. Hello. Get wrecked and give me the hides that I need. For the Pteranodon saddle. Okay, now a Giga. Please don't spawn on me, dude. Fingers crossed. Okay, we're good. I can freely die at this point. While waiting for the Pteranodon to tame, I found myself wandering the forests for some reason. Dude. Dude. Holy. Should be fine, I can just respawn here, I think. Yeah, okay. We're fine. On the bright side, I could respawn close by, but unfortunately that wouldn't help me too much here. An attempt was made, I guess. Nice. 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 Dude, can this Sarko just... What? That was double hit, there's no way. Dude, can I just get... I'm impatient, and this is a problem for me. Give you a shotgun and 200 bullets. Okay, this is very good. Very good, actually. Pteranodon tamed. Very good, very good, very good. After noticing that the Pteranodon tamed, I decided to lock in, take things slower, and lead the Sarko away so that he'd leave my stuff alone. Nice, broken bones. No, dude, leave me alone. Despite me getting my stuff back, I still decided to kill the Sarko as it pissed me off way too much, and I could always use the Prime Seed drops to tame more things later. Anyways, Pteranodon tamed. First and foremost, I was going to want some Explorer nodes for easy XP, as stopping for stamina is going to make me super vulnerable to Gigas. Number 1. Number 2. By collecting these 2 Explorer nodes, I managed to get a whopping 30 levels on my Pteranodon, which easily more than doubled my stamina. With this increased stamina and the ability to fly, it was only fitting that I began looking for drops to get some better gear. A whole lot of stuff, but a whole lot of nothing actually. I will grab the substrate, I guess. Because I can use it to make gas masks. For chest space, yes, I would like that. Ow, 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 I was not expecting that. Ascended Megatherium saddle. Yes, I'm probably gonna go solo the Broodmother with this guy. What? 83. Okay. Since the Pteranodon has bad weight, I had to go home to deposit the things I had just collected, and while thinking where to go next, this happened. Yeah, just come here and fall off. Perfect. No, this base location is pretty good. Unreal. Inhuman reactions, you ain't got a chance, bud. 17 points in melee. Still waiting for the moment when I get a guy with like 40 points in melee and he just one-shots me. That'd be pretty funny. While on the lookout for drops, I made sure to also look for good Pteranodons as well, just in case. 145, 26 points in... dibs. Unfortunately, in order to tame a Pteranodon, it has to land. Now, of course, I could just blow it out of the sky, but yeah, forget I said anything. Okay. Waiting does increase the likelihood of a Giga spawning, which means that he can just kill a Pteranodon I'm waiting for in the first place. But luckily he didn't do that this time, but that doesn't mean he can't do it later. Now since the Giga decided to claim the beach, I beat the Pteranodon so that it would go towards the other beach where I could then freely trank him. Nice, and I'm gonna give him the primes immediately and I'm gonna head out. In the meantime, I collected a bunch of drops for a bunch of good stuff. Do note that I only showed the good drops this time around, as I have seen many that had only trash inside. Send a crossbow. Okay. Oh hell yeah. That's so good. That is so good. But after a lengthy drop hunting session, the Pteranodon finished taming, so I could finally swap my old one for this way better one. Just like last time, first mission is to find some explorer nodes for a bunch of levels, which ended up netting me a whopping 1200 stamina, or about 20% more than my previous Pteranodon. With this new Pteranodon acquired, as well as the Ascendant crossbow, it was about time to build some basic trap structures to then head out towards the snow biome to begin looking for Megatheriums, or giant capybaras. $145 male! Yeah buddy. Finding the Megatherium was surprisingly super easy, so I quickly built a trap for him and then tried leading him inside. I'm about to say. He's gonna attack the Megatherium, I think. No, okay, but I can definitely lead him away and we got 4 minutes to tame the guy. I'm stuck, I'm actually gonna die. By using the local sleeping bags I placed down, I could respawn close by, but that didn't help too much as it was night and I was pretty much dead by the time I reached my items. I died before he touched me, okay? I can't move. Yeah, I'm stuck in the tree, man. GG. Nice. Well, plan B. Spawn back at base and use the Pteranodon to go back to the snow. Problem: no saddle. Hi. Okay, man. Finding chitin in the local forest ended up not being a possibility, which is why I ended up going into the swamp to kill some Meganurus. With the chitin, I made a saddle, and on my way to the snow, I collected some hide to craft a full set of hide armor to not die instantly. Once arrived, the first and immediate thing I did was lay the Giga into the frigid water so that I could get to tranking the Megatherium. Okay, now I block you off there. That should be it. Okay, now, same question. How do I trank him without dying to a Giga? I'm literally 1000% focused. Like, if a Giga pops up, E, and I see out. Execution 10 out of 10, speed 0 out of 10, but we got him. Holy hell, now I should be safe for a bit. The Giga shouldn't be able to climb up, nope. Okay, perfect. And he's out. Fantastic. Okay, 4 raw primate. So I'm gonna go kill something here for primes. The legendary Sarko came in clutch again with his juicy primes. 17 primes, perfect. As per usual, I wasn't going to wait around for the Megatherium to tame, so in the meantime I headed out to look for low level females to tame. Nice. Besides that, I was also looking for drops with good gear inside, as you can never be too geared in this game. The only decently low level Megatherium I found was this level 51, however I'm not gonna tame it yet, as my guy is almost tamed and I have other plans. What about the female then? Too much. Plans that include going home to deposit everything and then start taming backup Pteranodons. Just gotta be mindful of Gigas that could spawn. But for the most part we should be fine. After putting the 150 to sleep, I ran across a level 131 that was served the same fate. Thing with this one was that I had to defend him against Trudans, and now you might think, okay, useless info, why are you even telling us this? Well, it'll make sense in just a moment. For now, just know that the Trudans weren't the only ones protecting the Pteranodon. Okay, so much for the Pteranodon, I suppose. Okay. That was not 4 minutes, man. Whatever, it's better if it's bugged like this, it's more engaging. But one more bite in room that I gotta heal up this guy. Also, why am I not healing myself from the stamina poison thing? Well, to continue on what I said earlier, for some reason, Trudons applied a stamina debuff on me instead of a torpor one, which is super weird. And yeah, I could have just cryopoded it, but I never would have expected what happened next to actually happen. Dude, I'm actually getting trolled, what the f is this? Dude, my stamina is not recharging it. Holy shit, this game is f***ing dog shit, man. Okay, I survived somehow, thank you. Dude, what the f is going on? My stamina was not recharging on the guy, but I got hit by two... Whatever, man. Whatever. This game. Nah. And if that wasn't enough, I also had to deal with a max level Carno. Just rubbing salt on the wound there, game. With him defeated and the Giga led away, I was free to get the saddle back. Or so I thought. Nah. What? Why am I not taking damage? Does he not know how to bite? What? What the f***? What? What? After such bullshit, a break was needed, time in which I made sure to go into the game config files to actually fix the mod and set it up to work as properly intended, with a 4-minute minimum cooldown between gigas. So, being able to live just a tiny bit more relaxed than before, I logged back in to grab my items back and hop on the back of my brand new Pteranodon. 35 points in stamina, 48 in weight. Boom, I like that. You already know the deal, Explorer notes first, taming more Pteranodons after. Okay. No, dude, no, and I was about to say I shouldn't go put the prize because I'm gonna die, no! Well, it should come off as no surprise that my Pteranodon died as well. He's gaining speed. Dude, he's actually gaining on me. No. Whoa, okay. I mean, it makes sense because he's freaking huge. Hello. Why is there another one here? Well. After leading both Gigas a decent distance away from where I died, grabbing my items back ended up being quite easy actually. Despite getting it all back, I couldn't just go home, as my means of transportation has unfortunately perished, which is why I continued scouting the map in search for a new steed. Hello. 10 look, you see my cursor, look. 150. 150 max level. Max level. 10 points in stamina. 34 weight, I guess, so it's not half bad. But now Gigas gonna spawn and I'm gonna die. Watch this. Despite this Pteranodon having trash stats, I still tamed it, as it was a 150, and because beggars can't really be choosers. While waiting for the Pteranodon to tame, I went out into the local forest to look for... I don't know what, to be honest. Nice. So I just took my stuff back, at which point the Pteranodon also finished taming. Okay, points 25. Oh my god, that's actually so bad, dude. But 41 weight is okay, I suppose. I need a better one though, so I went over to get a better one. 145, 150, yay, yay, yo. Okay, 31 points. This guy. Oh my god, I want to knock out this guy so bad. Please. It should be one shot. Dude, I'm so bad. No, but he's gonna follow, he's gonna follow. No way. Dude, he's one turbo. As per usual, I had to wait a very, very long time for the Pteranodon to land. And that's all thanks to my laziness to craft a bowl. Please just land. But since waiting took too long, I decided to take matters into my own hands. Easy, holy, I'm so good at this game, man. And I can also knock out this guy. If he lands, 1k should be easily dealtable in like one hit. Yeah, especially if I just one-shot him in the head like that. I'm so good, dude. I'm actually so good. No, I'm not. I'm just... yeah, whatever. We gotta go kill a Sarco to get some primes, because that guy is super easy to kill. Please, no Gigas. While waiting for these two Pteranodons to tame, I found another level 141 that I immediately lost in the woods and never saw again. So I just went over to collect my new tames. In terms of stats, they ended up being super good actually, with 44 respectively 38 stamina. However, I wasn't gonna use the 44 stamina one because I was planning to breed Pteranodons so that I'd have more. For that, I was going to need females, so I continued looking around for, well, females. For primes, I decided to abandon my Sarco best friend and instead kill Titanoboas for primes, which work just as well, if not better, as they're easier to kill. No, don't get me stuck. Okay. Yeah, I want my Pteranodon, huh? You're not gonna get him, dude. 39. Phew, that's pretty good, man. Alright, bad. Let's go get some more Megatheriums. Actually, no, I have a better plan. Let me make a gas mask and let me go do the swamp cave first. For the gas mask, I was first and foremost gonna need a fabricator. The spar powder and cementing paste were very easily craftable in the mortar and pestle, and for oil I just killed the tech creature. Before going home, I wanted to get some more levels on my new Pteranodons, so just like before, I looked for explorer nodes. Can I find one more? Speaking of finding one more. Unfortunately, I only found one explorer node, 2500 hours by the way, but on the bright side a Giga spawned, which means that I got 4 minutes in the worst case to prepare for the swamp cave. So let's do it. Immediately I made a fabricator, turned it on, and by using the absorbent substrate I got a while back, made a gas mask. Luckily the swamp cave is right around the corner, so going there wasn't gonna take too long. After clearing it, I'll also want to tame a Doedicrus so that I can turn all the chitin into cementing paste for Megatherium saddles. Anyways, before heading into the cave I put down some sleeping bags just in case, and then I popped the gas mask on my face and headed inside the cave. This cave was also incredibly cracked for getting XP, so in just a few minutes I managed to get about 40 levels on my Megatherium, which was very nice. After conquering the cave, or I guess the entrance, I got more chitin than I will ever be able to carry with my Pteranodon. Okay, I think I only take like 2 1.5 stacks. In order to save weight in my inventory and carry more chitin, I crafted a storage box where I left a gas mask. 12 weight doesn't seem like a lot, but when you only have 250 to work with, it adds up rather quick. Back at base I deposited everything and took out my taming kit, as without the Doedicrus all of this was pretty much in vain. But speaking of the Doedicrus, I couldn't find him anymore. So instead I started having some very important questions. Is it a Thylacoleo or a Thylacoleo?
Thylacoleo.
Probably a Thylacoleo. 145 Pfeile. Since I found that Pfeile before the Icarus, I figured I'd tame it first, so I quickly assembled a trap for it, but after going back into the redwood to trap it, fate just so has it that I ran into the Icarus first this time. So I knocked it out first. Bam, off you go, give him this. And I'll be seeing you soon. But yeah, with the Droid knocked, I continue my search for that Pfeile. 145, did he move trees or what? Hello. That's pretty close. But yeah man, you do you. If you're wondering as to why I'm taming this Pfeile, well, let me enlighten you. For starters, I can use him for caves. Obviously, we all know the Pfeile is good for caves. But secondly, I can use him for his rider weaponry ability. Truth be told, I could just use the Megatherium, however this guy is way slower and if a Giga spawns, we're both dead. This is where the Pfeile would shine, as he is way faster and can also climb stuff. You'll see how this plays out later. By this point the Droid Icarus tamed, so I went over to put him in the cryo ball. Unless he loses aggro, this might be a big problem. Okay, he lost it, perfect. No, he did not. My guy's so dead. No, dude, don't leave, no, leave my Droid Icarus alone, no! Leave him alone! I think, yep, okay. No, what the? To everyone's shock, the Pteranodon ended up living. I have no idea how, but I'm not gonna complain. Back at base I needed to make some more narcotics, but narco berries were running thin. So I did the logical thing. Pop the Megatherium while outside of Giga cooldown for a few hundred narco berries. And also kill this innocent Diplodocus with 10 million HP just to waste time. Well then, risking losing my best and hard-earned Megatherium for 450 narco berries. Was it worth it? I'll let you decide. As for now, I continued looking for explorer nodes to push my Pteranodon past the 1000 stamina mark. By this point the Pfeile was almost done, so I headed off in its direction. He should tame. Yeah, because he has more taming than unconscious, so he should tame. While waiting for the last few minutes to pass, I continued looking around for Droid Icaruses. 15. Sure, but I need to lead these guys away first. And also spawn the Giga, because I think he's coming. And one more. And tamed. Tamed. There we go. Talk about inhuman reactions, dude! Talk about inhuman reactions, dude! Booyah! After barely escaping that Giga, I ran into a decent low-level Droid Icarus, so I immediately got to taming him. Finally, let's see. 40 points. Okay. Next, I made a saddle for both my Pfeile as well as my Droid that I soon welcomed into the family, but before actually doing anything with him, I wanted to go into the snow to use the Pfeile that I got earlier to tame that level 50 Megatherium from earlier. Dude, this guy looks so cool actually, like I'm not even kidding. Okay, so he's dead. And now I can come here. And I have rider weaponry and a lot of maneuverability, so I can just drag this guy without worrying about anything. This is exactly what I was hinting towards when the Pfeile finished taming. You see, if I go about taming Megatheriums this way, then I don't need to build a trap, and overall it's gonna take less time to knock them out, which leaves me less vulnerable to Gigas. And then when he gets high torpor, I can also just chase him down, but I will need to be careful about things. Or him going in the water and being a total idiot. He's out. Okay, perfect. Another cool thing about the Pfeile is that he is very strong, which means that I don't need to cycle as many dinos to do different tasks. I can just use him to tank, get primes and clear out the surrounding area. Just when I thought that things couldn't get better, the game decided to give me this. Oh, Pfeile saddle. Yes, this will help me greatly. Taking less damage while face tanking creatures is gonna be very nice to have. But yeah, gotta continue looking for more females. $145 male, damn. 20 male, no. 60. I guess I take it. But how long until the Giga? That's the real question. So this is why I wanted the... Oh, he left me alone! And the Mega Ethereum! Yo, the MVP, dude. Actual MVP. Well, I got no clue why the Giga just left 2 free, very delicious meals on the table like that, but hey, if you wanna be chill, I'ma be chill too, man. 25, even better. One more. Nice. Speaking of which, I'm out and I'm going to tame Mega Ethereums. While knocking low-level Mega Ethereums was for the most part a very chill experience, I did run into this level 21 that ran off all the way into enemy territory, which meant that I had to protect him. Amongst the things I had to protect him from was a Tyrannus that had the ability to insta-fear my Filer. I was about to say... He's taking me to the Giga! No, 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 no! Hello? Hello? Oh, he's not moving. Okay, what a relief. What a relief, he's just stuck. What a relief. Well, such scare won't go unpunished. After protecting him from everything, he finished taming, at which point I returned home to craft a feeding trough. And thanks to that Giga that spawned on the way here, I had 4 minutes to do whatever I wanted, which was breeding golden Mega Ethereums. Besides that, I also got to using the Doedicurus to farm some stones to finally craft a chitin into cementing paste. And then I farmed a lot of metal with my pickaxe for saddles later. With all housekeeping tasks done, all I had to do was imprint the new capybaras. They seem to have all got... Oh, this guy got a mutation. Already. Interesting. As per usual, I kept pretty much all females and good males, while the bad stat males would get cryopodded and never let out until the leveling stage. Next, I had to imprint them. I need to do the giveaway. Or I could just go imprint. Let's guess it. Got him. Come on, dude. This is so scary. Don't do this to me, man. Don't do this to me, man. Please. Okay, okay, okay. We're out, we're out, we're out, we're out. Whew, we're safe. With everything going fantastic at the base, next goal was to do the 3 caves. I should get to pieces of flag. The first cave was right over here, and by using the Phylacolio, clearing it out ended up being a piece of cake. Oh my god, dude, I hate the Afro players so much. Rip armor. That's number 1. Making it out of the cave was also super easy thanks to this bad boy's climbing ability. Second cave was the lava cave, so I slowly began making my way over there. This cave had onyx, and they are usually really tough to deal with as they can inflict the player with mega rabies. However, I have discovered an insane strat to avoid that, and it involves spamming space. Spam space maybe, so they don't bite me? Seems to work. No clue if I'm lucky or if my Phyla is crazy good, but this strat does seem to actually work. My strat kinda works, just spam jump, that's kinda cool. Yeah, this seems to be a super good strategy to clear out the cave of onyx. I'm surprised I discovered this. That's number 2. Nice, that was quite a perfect dodge. Last cave is the central cave. It had onyx as well as other stuff, so I applied literally the same tactic as before to get my prize. And that's the third one. Easy peasy. With all artifacts collected, I was free to return home to check up on my capybaras. Okay, guys, why do my Megatheriums, or I mean any dino really, not heal up when it finishes growing up? What's that about? If you do know the answer, do let me know, as I've been struggling to understand what's up with this for the past year or so. Next goal was to get all the tributes that I will put on screen. Since I'm going to fight the Broodmother, they aren't anything too crazy, so getting them should be pretty easy. No. Well, I bled him actually. Ah, but he barely felt it. Okay, we got less venom. Easy peasy. Giga everywhere. Nice. Dude, I need to go home. I need to go home and I need to imprint the guys. Hold on. I just remembered. Oh, what? Yeah, false alarm apparently. Back to slaying sauropods. Okay, I haven't really done any Giga spawn manipulation until now, but it seems to the point where this is pretty much mandatory. As if I go home and a Giga spawns, I'm gonna lose a huge chunk of my Megatheriums and just waste time. So I'd say it's warranted. Same deal as before, imprint babies and make new babies. The baby. I only had 4 minutes, so I had to move somewhat quickly. With my army rapidly expanding, it was clear that I was going to need to start making the saddles ASAP. The only problem was that I was very poor. So I expanded my metal production factory. And while waiting for that to smelt, I went to make the basic gate trap, as for the boss I was planning to use 18 Megatheriums, 1 Utaranus and my Phylacolio. So this trap will help me with getting the Utaranus. I tanked! What? I tanked that! Insane, my armor was literally in shambles, but I tanked that. Holy shit. He must have... No, 22, what? That's insane. That's actually insane. But now I'm safe for 4 minutes, so I can continue doing what I was doing. Okay, I need to wait 3 minutes for gestation, okay. And then we can go get our UT tamed. Waiting for gestation was done on the local rock. Afterwards I let him off the cliff so he wouldn't bother me, and then I imprinted the new arrivals. I thought I got twins. The feeding trough was also empty at this point, so I had to take a short detour to get some meat, so they wouldn't starve while I'm away. It's a common fear of mine, as I'm notorious for having my dino starve. If you know, you know. On the way to the snow biome, I realized that I didn't farm the Argentavis talents, so I spent about 5 minutes getting those and then began searching for Utis. 15, no. 100 plus at the very least. 95. That's not half bad, but he only has 11 points in HP. Which is pretty bad. Please have the Giga one-shot you. They just don't deal damage to each other? Okay. Hi there. Ow. 130. 15 points. But it has a much higher chance of giving me something good. So... Don't mind me. He shouldn't be able to get feared, I believe. Oh, he can, but he needs more things. Apparently. In order to tame the UT, one must take care of its bodyguards. However, this task is pretty hard depending on what dino you have, as the UT debuffs you and heavily buffs its allies. Not to mention he can also join the fight and fear you again. So yeah, have fun. Thing is though, if you get rid of his Carnos, he's pretty easy to deal with after. Since the UT kept biting the trap and didn't want to, you know, go in, I decided to pull out the Megatherium and tried to knock back him in, at which point he just walked in himself. So that was awesome. In you sit forever, trapped. Get nerd. Oh wait, the Giga, I forgot. Gotta keep this guy on standby for a Giga attack. Actually, no, not this guy for a Giga attack. I completely forgot I have to defend myself against Gigas, dude. But yeah, let's get to knocking this guy. And worst case scenario, we hop on him and we fly away. Yeah, buddy. What this guy... Ah, because it's my turn on. Look at him, dude. He's so determined to have me. What the hell? After almost getting one-shotted by this titan of a creature, I let him away and returned to the UT to finish the job. Thank God for missing. Okay. Now I give him some primes that I don't have. Okay. Okay, now we have primes. With the UT out, I just had to wait. They don't stand a chance. This is actually insane, man. Like, I was literally in the menu doing something else and like... Actually, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. It's my skill that makes this... I almost died. Maybe we relax. With meat that I don't have. Okay. Do not kill my Pteranodon, dude! I was way too close for comfort. After way too many close calls, the Tyrannus woke up and began listening to my every command. So I returned home to put him in the Schmitty and make a saddle for him. Oh, I forgot to grab Silicus. I'm a bit stupid. Before heading out to get Silicus for his saddle, I did one more round of reading. You already know the deal, so I won't go into too much detail. But we gotta go grab some Silicus. What the... Okay. With the Silicus, I easily made the Tyrannus saddle and then began crafting the Megatherium ones. Unfortunately, I wasn't gonna have enough cementing paste, which is why I took my Doedicurus out on a walk to farm, well, more stone. Next I did some more imprinting and in the meantime decided to take all the Megatheriums I own to level them up. Like always, I was planning to sacrifice their babies to the grown Megatheriums for big XP. The problem was that Megatherium babies give a very tiny amount of XP when killed. I need to give them more like 3 babies, that's insane. So I applied a new tactic, which involves me cutting down trees and breaking bushes for XP, which seemed to work a whole lot better. For stats, I was thinking I'd go with 10k HP and at least 900% melee, as that seems sufficient. Oh yeah, and while I'm doing all this leveling, I still gotta be careful of Gigas. Nice. You stay. Never mind, no, nobody stays on. They're both dead. I have the saddle, okay. Well, I lost 2 Megatheriums, which is a huge bummer, but on the bright side I got a whopping 4 minutes time to level up some more. How fun! And I'm using Megatheriums if the boss should die. Should. Heavy emphasis on should. I was about to say it's getting pretty risky, but apparently the game just knows. I'm so dead. Holy, that scared me. Yeah, I'm dead. I'm so dead. GG. GG, dude. Nice. Nice. I have stimberries for stamina. After leveling all available Megatheriums, it was time to give the Utarenas some extra strength as well. I did have to be excruciatingly careful while doing as such, as losing this guy will set me back at least 1 hour, if not more. For stats on him, I mainly just went with health and stamina so he can roar for longer and tank a bit more. But yeah, we still have more Megatheriums to go through, so let's do that. GG. GG, this guy is dead. Okay. So, literally just wait for these guys to grow, and we're free to go. So I'm gonna wait for 1 more Giga to spawn, and then we can finish this. While waiting for 1 more Giga to spawn, I sat and had quite a genius idea. Basically, the Swamp Cave is notorious for giving a lot of XP, right? Well, what if I take the best Swamp Cave dino in the Swamp Cave to clear it out and get a lot of XP in return? Well, a few clicks and I'm up 25 levels. Sometimes my genius, it's almost frightening. I did run out of Megatheriums though, so I had to go home to grab some more. Yikes. Of course that happens as I'm drinking water, because why the f not? Whatever. One Megatherium that I leveled ended up killing more things than I initially planned, which made him shoot up past 15k health and 1500 melee, which is why he got a new, more befitting name. But yeah, I think that should suffice for leveling. On the way home I baited another Giga to spawn to give me some time to prepare for the boss. For it, I took all the Megatheriums, the full flag set, the tributes, and the artifacts, and then hopped to my Pteranodon to go to Rin Obelisk to finish this. At any point a Giga could spawn, so I must hurry up and finish this. Absolute last thing I did before beginning the fight was level up all the Megatheriums that could still be leveled, and afterwards I spawned in the Broodmother. No fucking way, dude. Bye, dude. Goodbye, man. Are we gonna... Okay, not everybody's bleeding. We should be fine. Go, guys. 1 million health. Crap. What? Dude, that guy got one-shotted. Dude, what? One small oversight. The Megatherium struggle to fight the Broodmother on their own, since they just get stuck behind each other and don't attack. Oh yeah, and they also had very little HP compared to how much they should have had, and also primitive saddles. So this went as you might have expected. Yeah, I may have underestimated this boss like crazy. Or I overestimated myself, you know, that's a possibility too. But I think that's it. Half HP, huh? Yep. GG, man. Can't win them all, can you, I guess? And that's unfortunate.